Welcome to another episode of Erik Wait Whiskey Studies, and in this video, gonna do a review of the anCnoc Blas Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. But before I get into this, I'm gonna tell you about the history of Knockdhu Distillery and my notes on this whiskey. Knockdhu Distillery is located in Knockbamshire, Scotland. The site was also chosen for its proximity to the Knock station on the Banff branch line of the Great North of Scotland Railway between Aberdeen and Elgin. Knockdhu Distillery was founded in 1893 by John Morrison, who bought the land from the Duke of Fife. Production started in October of 1894. In 1930, the Scotch malt distillers took over production. In 1983, Knockdhu Distillery was closed. In 1988, Inverhouse bought the distillery from United Distillers. Production restarted at Knockdhu Distillery on February 6, 1989. In 1990, the first official bottling of Knockdhu was released. In 1993, the first bottling of anCnoc was released. In 2001, Pacific Spirits purchased Inverhouse Distillers for £56 million. In 2006, International Beverage Holdings acquired Pacific Spirits UK. The anCnoc Blas Highland single malt Scotch whisky. Blas, which is Gaelic for taste, has been created in partnership with Scottish fashion designer Patrick Grant. This limited expression was matured in Spanish and American oak and has been bottled in its most natural form, neither chill filtered nor colored. It's bottled at 54% alcohol by volume and sells for anywhere between $55 and $60 in my neighborhood. So, as you saw there in the notes, this comes in at 54% alcohol by volume, non-chill filtered, no added coloring. This is whiskey as it ought to be. Intense, very, very intense and concentrated aromas of orange citrus peel, a little bit of lemon, a very acute maltiness, some real nice floral notes, perhaps a little bit of butterscotch. I get a little bit of a graham cracker character as well, and just a hint of vanilla on the palate. Wow. Wow. So, gotta say, at 54% ABV, it packs quite a while. It's really intense. I can take peated whiskeys at a higher ABV. Peat tends to, I think, soften the sharp edges of a whiskey. This is very intense, very acute, very sharp. Intense flavors of orange peel, lemon, that graham cracker character that I mentioned before, some honey in the mid palate, in fact a lot of honey in the mid palate, and a very distinct maltiness on the finish. In fact, I gotta say, it's one of the most malty whiskeys that I've ever had. You can almost chew on the malt, it's so intense. This is a whiskey I don't enjoy neat. It's just too much. I gotta add at least 2 full teaspoons of water. Give it a nice roll. No swirling here. On the palate again. Perfect. The way a whiskey should be. Still very intense and concentrated flavors, but that sharp edge bite of the alcohol has been tamed. It has been brought in. It's also opened up a lot more of the honey notes, just adding a little bit of water, and a lot more of the floral notes on the nose. Intense, sharp, orange citrus peel, a little bit of lemon, that graham cracker character there, and that intense maltiness on the finish. I really like this whiskey. It doesn't have necessarily the hugest range of flavors, and it's pretty much, I would say, kind of the same or similar in the front, in the middle, and into the finish. But what it has, I really like. So, what am I giving in terms of a score? I'm going to go a solid 90 points. A solid 90 points. What would I want to go higher? More of a change in the profile from the front and the middle into the finish. A more variety of flavors. It has a lot of boldness. It has a lot of depth. It has a lot of kapow to it. It just needs more into the range. Maybe, you know, some variation in the casking would help it out. But what is there I really like, so I'm going to give it a solid 90 points. It has enough to get me there, but I would like more variation in the transition to go even higher. Now, this is a limited edition. This is a limited release, so they can be challenging to come by, but if you can find it, I highly recommend it. Another whiskey from Knockdhu Distillery is the anCnoc Peat Heart, a peated whiskey from them, a Highland peated whiskey. I reviewed this during my series on Highland peated whiskeys. A little challenging to come by here in the United States, but this is an absolutely spectacular whiskey. If you want to know more about it, check out my review that I'm going to put at the end of this video. All right, until next time, cheers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and check out these other whiskey videos.